on him about working quickly, and you'll see him constantly throughout the game remind him, keep throwing quickly. Jeff Luce, the shortstop, steps up. Here's the pitch, and a little bit low.
It's important to work quickly because of the defense behind you and the job that they have to do. And when you're like Lunsford, a person who's not going to strike out a lot of people, they'll hit a lot of ground balls and pop flies. Defense has to be ready for that.
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and Jeff Luce down to one knee on the Jason Lunsford, I guess, fastball, as he was way out in front of it and almost hurt himself.
He was not expecting a pitch that slow from Lunsford and dropped down literally on his back knee, taking a cut at that. And like I said, the Berkmar Patriot hitters through the first 9 batters are going to have some weird cuts against Lunsford.
Here's the next one from Lunsford, and a little nub pop-up. Jason's calling for it. He squeezes it for the out, and that was a very weak attempt, as it just didn't even go 30 feet out in front of the plate.
And when you're a team that comes in 5-8 overall and 1-3 and trying to establish a rhythm, going to a team like Newton, going here to Newton County to take on the Rams, the last thing you want to do is to face someone with an off motion and an odd delivery and odd pitches like Jason Lunsford. It's something that'll screw up your hitters not just for this game, but for the few following.
Here's the first pitch from Jason, and it's a strike called inside corner to Dane Weigel, the DH. Actually, if I'm Berkmar, I'd probably rather face Richie or Luke right now. Face somebody that's going to do good stuff. Here's the next one, and a swing and fouled back, and Chris Middlebrooks took that one off the hand. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Middlebrooks has helped this team out tremendously throughout the sub-region. He is one of the big reasons why they're...
And lanes, those high towering ones, it was a little hard to tell whether they were going to go or not. Speaking of a pop-up, here's one off the bat of Weigel. Matt Easterday camps underneath it and squeezes it for the out, and Jason Lunsford makes it look very easy in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS. The Rams coming to bat in the bottom of the first.
It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Just check out these great prices for all your spring cleaning and gardening. Corona 21-inch head shears or Corona 24-inch bypass lopper, your choice, just $19.96. An Ace spring rake, $7.96. A Garden Weasel cultivator garden claw, $34.96. An Ace folding pruning saw, just $5.97. Or an Ace bypass lopper, just $19.97. It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware, your headquarters for spring cleaning and gardening. Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square in Covington.
If you're age 60 or better, Newton Federal has created benefits especially for you. Our Now Interest checking account pays current market interest on your entire checking balance, not just part of it, if you maintain a $100 balance. And we offer it to our 60-plus customers with no minimum balance requirements and no monthly maintenance fees. Talk with us today at Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured. After all, you deserve the best.
And welcome back to Riverside Park at Newton High School. The Rams and Jason Lunsford retired the Patriots in the top half of the first. Now the Newton Rams will try to put some runs on the scoreboard against Justin Horner and those same Patriots. And Bill Dolan, Kevin Holden bringing you the play-by-play. Bill, the Rams look like this lineup-wise. Matt Easterday starts it off as the shortstop, and it's pretty much the same order we've seen from the Rams for the last several games. Ryan Moon, second baseman, hits second. It's then Stephen Hires at first base. Luke Allen in center field. Chris Middlebrooks, the catcher, hits fifth. Richie Cleary is in right field, the number 6 batter. Lane Floyd is the number 7 man. He is the DH. Doyle Baker plays third and bats 8th, and Bryce Avery batting 9th in left field.
And for the Berkmar Patriots, Tony Martin's at first base, Jeff Van Buren at second base, Jeff Luce, the shortstop. Jason Elkins holds down the hot corner at third. Around the outfield, it's Matt Eldridge in left, J.R. Vandereist in center, Brian DeYoung in right, Michael Barrett, the catcher, and Justin Horner on the mound.
Rams have seen their share of Berkmar Patriots named Horner. Justin has some siblings who are older than he is who have pitched against the Rams in the past. And Bill, we were talking earlier about the Rams struggling at Berkmar. Now here at Riverside Park, the Rams have had very good luck against the Patriots. But in my time here, my first year with the broadcast here was 1992. In 4 years, Rams have not yet won at Berkmar. They've won everywhere else in the region now with that win at Parkview. The only place they haven't won, at Berkmar. They had a tie in 1994. The Berkmar Stadium didn't have lights at that point, and there was a tie, but the Rams will hope to break that 2 weeks from Monday.
And shortstop Matt Easterday steps to the dish. And here's Horner's first pitch to Matt. Swing and foul down the right field line. This broadcast is protected under broadcast rights guaranteed by Newton Ram Baseball and WGFS Radio and was produced solely for the pleasure of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description of the accounts of this game without the express written consent of Newton Ram Baseball and WGFS Radio is strictly prohibited. The announcers are employed by WGFS. Easterday dribbles one out in front. Horner moves quickly to get to it, throws, and he is out by a step and a half at first base.
Nice throw, or nice play rather, from the first baseman, Tony Martin. The throw from Horner was actually into the runner toward the first base dugout side of the bag, and Martin did a fine job bailing Justin Horner out of that situation. They could have had a serious problem there. Now, I would ask you what express written consent and permission and that sort of thing means, but we've got to concentrate on baseball.
Yeah, now, those first couple pitches that Justin Horner threw to Matt Easter, they kind of resembles Jason out there. None of them looked like they were going much more than about 65. There's a fastball a little bit outside, but not appearing to be up in the 80 range either.
Berkmar has another young team this year. They brought a lot of people back from last year.
And the next one up high to Ryan Moon, the steady second baseman of the Newton Rams. Ryan has come a long way from when he first called up last year from the junior varsity. He has become extremely steady out there at second base. When a ball's hit out that way, you just know the play is going to be made, plus his batting average up considerably and just doing everything that has been asked of him.
Has reached base 12 straight times in one stretch. That was broken a few nights ago.
Here's the 2-0 to Moon. Swing and a miss as he failed to connect with the fastball.
Horner's keeping the ball away from Ryan Moon, and he's not exactly the biggest home run threat, but it's not a bad idea if you're Justin Horner or the Berkmar Patriots to try to keep the ball away from a right-handed batter.
And Moon checks his swing on a pitch high and away. He's ahead in the count now, 3 balls and 1 strike. A little bit of wind blowing out towards right field like it normally does here at Riverside Park, so any of the lefties or some of the strong right-handers that like to go that way, if they get it up, might be able to leave the yard today. And the next pitch, that's inside, and Ryan Moon coaxes a walk for the first base runner of the game.
Well, Ryan Moon knows how to reach base. There's no doubt about that. He's done it in many different ways, reaching base on errors, fielder's choices, walks, the base hits, of course. And out of the number 2 spot on the batting order, you can't ask for anything better than that. Easterday has done very well out of the number 1 spot on the order. So at the top of the batting order, there has been no question. The Rams have been one of the best around.
Quick pickoff throw over, Ryan Moon back in time. Of course, we know the Moon tradition of the delayed steal. Don't be surprised if we see a little base running here in the first. Justin Horner checks Moon. Here's the pitch, and Stephen Hires fouls it down the right field line, and that makes the count no balls and 1 strike.
Michael Barrett is the man behind the plate for the Berkmar Patriots, Bill, and I don't think he was the starting catcher last year, so my guess is you're probably dealing with a younger catcher with less experience, so the Rams may try to establish a lead early here and use the delayed steal to do that.
And Ryan Moon and Richie Cleary both very proficient at that delayed steal. Here's the next pitch. And that's a strike called. And speaking of the delayed steal, there it is. And Moon slides into the tag. The throw a bad one, but it turned out to be just good enough as it was on the second base side, and Moon slid right into the tag.
In that particular circumstance, it hurt Ryan Moon that he got a slow jump. Of course, it being a delayed steal, that's going to happen regardless. And Michael Barrett looked down just at the last second, and it was just as he was looking up, Ryan Moon was taking off.
Timing just wasn't quite right on that one. 2 outs now. Here's the pitch to Hires, swinging another foul out of play down the right field line. Keeps the count at no balls and 2 strikes.
That was the second pitch of the count, and we were talking about this before a few games back that the Rams like to do a lot of things with the second pitch of a count, and Berkmar may have picked up on that from some previous sub-region games.
Here's the 0-2 to Stevens. Swing and a miss. A little bit of an off-speed pitch. He foul-tipped it into the mitt, and Michael Barrett able to hang on. Well, not much doing for the Rams in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 walk. He's erased on an attempted steal. We head to the top of the second inning. Still no score. This is Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
The Bank of Covington offers full-service banking and convenient locations, and you can find what you want in a checking account, savings plan, simple interest loan, and 24-hour automatic banking that gives you access to over 8,000 ATMs throughout the Southeast and the USA. Just what you would expect from a leading financial institution. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
And welcome back to Riverside Park at Newton High School. The Rams and the Berkmar Patriots going head-to-head here in 8 Quad A South battle. Bill Dolan brings you the play-by-play action of the Rams and Patriots as we head to the top of the second with no score.
Thank you very much, Kevin Holden. A beautiful day for baseball. Field's starting to take shape now. Hopefully this cold weather that's supposed to come in early next week won't affect it too much, but it is a gorgeous day out there. Jason Lunsford had a very easy first inning, 3 pop-ups. In fact, nothing hit hard. Of course, Justin Horner, not too difficult of an inning himself. A little nubber on the ground, a walk and a caught stealing, then a strikeout. So the bats are quiet early. Justin Horner, in fact, leads off here. Here's the first pitch from Jason, and it's a strike called outside corner at the knees.
It's interesting to think of scouts and the way you talk about speed and how that helps win you games as far as the pitchers are concerned, yet for both of these teams, the effective pitchers today are the off-speed pitchers.
Here's the next one. That's a little bit high and tight. That one may be one of the hardest fastballs you'll see Jason throw. That one had a little zip on it and may have had a purpose, and watch for him to go outside here. Here's the 1-1. And he fooled him completely with an off-speed pitch. That ball looked like it landed about a foot in front of the plate, Kevin, and Chris Middlebrooks had to dig it out of the dirt.
Horner was thinking what you were, apparently, because that was low and well inside.
And Jason readies. Here's the next one. That's way inside. Brushes him back a little bit. That's going to even the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some cries of unrest from the Newton fans. They felt like the batter a little close to the plate. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a shot. Doyle Baker with a good stab. Up throws. Stephen Hires goes up the line, makes a good catch, and tags the runner, Justin Horner. Good play by Stephen Hires.
Stephen Hires coming off the first base bag, and for Doyle Baker, we know the problem hasn't been catching the ball. It's just the throw from third to first that kind of unnerves you every once in a while, and that throw was one that was a couple of feet off the bag, and Hires had just enough height to bring that down, and Baker, as far as having Hires tag the runner, probably couldn't have thrown that in a better position.
A good glove-handed catch by Baker. That ball was hit into the hole. Doyle got a tricky hop, but he made a good play on it, just the throw, like you say. And the first pitch to the next hitter, Brian DeYoung, evidently down just a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Jason Lunsford working quickly today, brings the 1-0 home. Swing and a miss on a pitch outside corner, about chest high there. That famous fastball of Jason Lunsford.
Lunsford will throw you a 55-mile-an-hour changeup and a 55-mile-an-hour curveball, and suddenly a 72-mile-an-hour fastball looks about 85.
Next one, a weak pop-up, and that's going to get out of play behind. They're just not even hitting any loud foul balls off him. He's really got him off stride.
Really, no one's hit anything hard yet in the first inning and a half here.
Both pitchers marking the corners, moving the ball in and out, and the off-speed. Of course, we know the Rams a lot of times have trouble with that off-speed junk. They love the fastball. Lunsford readies. Here's the pitch. Swinging a little number pop-up again. Ryan Moon underneath it. He squeezes it for the out.
Lunsford has retired 5 straight to start the game here, 4 of them on pop-ups. 3 of those in the infield, the other to the outfield, but still very weak and very high. So you could look at Lunsford and say he's a fly-out pitcher, but you really can't even say that. He's kind of a weak pop-out pitcher.
And that tells you what kind of stuff he's got going, because those are all weak pop-ups, just nothing to him at all. That's going to bring Tony Martin, the first baseman, to the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Down low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Looking out, there's the freshman coach of the Rams down below, coached first base for the Rams last year. The next one, strike. That fastball on the outside corner, and Martin stood there taking. That evens the count at 1-1. Here comes the next one. A little bit low and inside, 2-1 the count. Jason is working considerably faster than we have seen him in the past, so evidently he's listened to Coach Brassfield, and either that or he doesn't want him coming out and coercing him to pitch a little faster. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Down low again.
Talking about Derek Coggin, the ninth grade coach this year for the Rams and first base coach last year. He helped the Rams tremendously with his first base coaching and, of course, passed along the defensive tradition to Don Shepard, the current first base coach. And Coach Shepard had big shoes to fill down there.
Absolutely. Here's the next one. And that's going to be a base on balls as Jason threw another one down just out of the strike zone low. Not a bad place for him to be missing. You certainly don't want him up high missing where they can tee off on him.
I'll tell you who he reminds me of. If you've ever seen Rick Honeycutt pitch, Honeycutt's now with the Cardinals. He's been with the Oakland A's and Yankees and Mariners and about 12 other major league teams. But Honeycutt's a left-hander who doesn't necessarily throw 95, but he'll throw pitches 6 inches off the plate high and 6 inches off the plate low and 6 inches outside. And hitters will chase a lot of bad pitches from him. And for Lunsford, he'll get hitters to swing at pitches out of the strike zone.
And there's a quick pickoff play over there, and Jason almost threw it away. Steven had to come off the bag to make a good play. Michael Barrett, the catcher for the Berkmar Patriots, up to the plate. Jason checks the runners, and here's the first one. That's down low again, too. That's about 4 in a row he's thrown that have been down low in the strike zone. Wondering if he's doing a little something different with his delivery, causing it to bleed through like that. Checks the runner, and the next one. That one's about 3 feet high, so much for that.
Well, that time the delivery was much different from Lunsford. His step was not toward home plate. It was a few steps to a few feet to the first base side of home plate, and his body couldn't adjust and follow through enough.
2-0 the count to Barrett. Here's the next one. And there's a strike called. That one appeared to catch the knees at the inside corner. 2-1. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. No score yet. Newton Ram baseball. Lunsford working quickly. Pitch a swing and a miss.
Now he challenged him there with a high fastball, and again, after you mess around with a little bit of an off-speed pitch and a curveball, and then you come in with that fastball, that's a tough one to catch up to.
Jason brings the next one, and there's a ground ball down to Doyle at third. Yup. Long throw, high and safe. Pulled Stephen Hires off the bag. Doyle took a long time, seemed to read the label before he finally threw it over there, and you could see it coming, and he pulled Stephen Hires off the bag. This time, it hurts as he reaches on the air. Michael Barrett safe at first on the air.
Baker, going toward first base, took probably 3 mini crow hops toward first base, which tells you that he's thinking about that throw, thinking probably back to when Horner was hitting and Hires had to apply the tag. And for Baker, so last thing you want to do is have to think too much about that throw, because it's long enough as it is, and you probably make it 20 or 30 feet longer just by thinking about it.
You hate to see this happening because he did a fine job the other night, Wednesday night in Parkview, as the whole team did. They really played well defensively. There were actually no real defensive errors. The only error coming on a pickoff play where the runner and the ball kind of got there at the same time, and the runner actually might have been out had Stephen been able to come up with it. Jason checks the runners. Here's the pitch. High and away for a ball to Matt Eldridge, the left fielder for the Patriots. Rams in a bit of trouble. 2 on, 2 out in the second inning. Lunsford needs to pitch around the air. Here's the 1-0. And that's low and away, 2-0. He certainly doesn't want to load the bases here.
After retiring 5 straight, he walked Martin, keeping the ball down, and he's doing that here to Eldridge as well. So when he's been missing below the strike zone.
Pickoff play, nobody covering, and scurrying back quickly into second base was Michael Barrett.
When you miss low, it's the easiest to adjust, though. It's a lot easier than missing high and having to throw the ball farther down.
There's a strike called, inside corner at the knees, and that makes the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners lead away. Lunsford checks both runners, and the pitch. Swing and fouled weakly back behind the plate. Not a real good cut that time by Matt Eldridge, as he was fooled a little bit by the Lunsford delivery again.
A lot of times you talk about a curveball as speeding up a hitter's bat because of the slower speed. I would say that Lunsford's throwing slow enough and fooling the Berkmar hitters enough to where the changeup is actually slowing their bats down. They're trying to slow the bats down to make contact.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a shot towards right field. Richie Cleary in his tracks, squeezes it, and Jason Lunsford works out of a jam. No runs, no hits, 1 Ram error, and 2 runners left on base. We head now to the bottom of the second inning. Still no score. This is Newton Ram Baseball on your local leader, WGFS AM 1430.
When you're looking for a garden tractor, you want one that won't back away from the big jobs. You want a Toro wheel horse garden tractor from Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Here's one tractor that's not afraid to get dirty. And with an available 20 horsepower Toro Power Plus engine, it can mow, till, plow, even remove snow without breaking a sweat. But don't take our word for it. See the complete line of Toro wheel horse garden tractors today at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. We think you'll agree they look great in red, but they're even better in earth tones. At Coast to Coast Home and Auto, we'd like to give you some powerful reasons to go get a Toro wheel horse lawn tractor, like an available 16 horsepower Vanguard overhead valve engine, or the largest mowing deck available on any lawn tractor, and a choice between a fully automatic hydrostatic transmission and a shift-on-the-go 5-speed. See one for yourself at Coast to Coast Home and Auto today. We have a full line of Toro wheel horse lawn tractors to choose from, and you'll learn that with so many high-performance features, you can make quick work of almost any job.
And we're back from Riverside Park at Newton High School. The Newton Rams and the Berkmar Patriots. 8 Quad A South action continues. We are scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second. Here to try to change that, the Rams and Bill Dolan.
Thank you very much, Kevin Holden. Luke Allen will lead it off for the Rams. He's hitting in the cleanup spot and playing center field. He'll be followed by Chris Middlebrooks and Big Richie Cleary as we hit in the second inning. By the way, for you people out there that have sent in entries, the bottom of the third will be the wing ding inning tonight. Your chance to win 100 hot wings. Here's the 1-0 to Luke. Swing and a miss as he went after the fastball and came up empty.
That wing ding inning will be worth 100 hot wings to a winner. Of course, the Rams will have to hit a home run to give somebody 100 hot wings, but we'd love to see it happen.
Here's the pitch to Luke. Swing and foul right to the backstop. Had a good cut on a fastball that time.
Rams have improved their power bill the last couple of games. Not power bill, power bill as I'm...
I know what you mean.
Okay. The Rams have improved the power output, let's say that. They had 4 coming into two games ago, and they've hit 5 in their last 2 games.
Oh, swing and a miss on a pitch way out of the strike zone. Luke fooled badly by the off-speed junk. That pitch about a foot outside and about 6 inches off the ground.
What happens with an off-speed pitcher is he has a little more control. Usually that's what an off-speed pitcher has to have, and Horner is spotting the ball very well right now, and that pitch was just off the outside corner in a good location.
He's done a good job at really keeping the Rams at bay. They haven't had any better cuts really than the Patriots have to this point, so a pitching duel among a couple of slow ballers, if you will. Chris Middlebrooks, the senior backstop, up to the plate. Here's the first one to Chris, and that's an off-speed slow ball, if you will, and that makes the count 1 strike, no balls. Middlebrooks with a long home run the other night. Readies for the next one. Swinging it, skies it to center field. Center fielder J.R. Vanderijs heads straight back and squeezes it for the out. Speaking of the wing ding inning, Kevin Holden, we just received some more entries up here in the press box.
We take them even during games. That's no trouble at all. And guess what? We have just received several more entries in the wing ding inning, and maybe some of these will be drawn here in the bottom half of the third.
Well, they're certainly going the hopper, and we'll spin it around and pull out the numbers. Richie Cleary steps up, checks his swing on an off-speed pitch, and as the ball drifts outside.
Richie Cleary is going to be a key. It's going to be a key at bat for him against the off-speed pitcher. He's moved back in the box to hit the fastball better. We'll see if he can adjust against the changeup.
Here's the next one, and that's just a little bit outside. That was a fastball. Richie held away from it. 2-0 the count. And there are 2 outs quickly here already in the bottom of the second inning. Now with Justin Horner getting behind in the count, he may have to come in with a fastball, and if he does, Richie will be ready. Here's the pitch, swing and a drive to left field, but I don't think he got it all. Nope, the left fielder, Matt Eldridge, back near the track, catches it, and that's going to do it for the Rams in the second inning. They go very quietly. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Still no hits in the ball game. We head now to the top of the third. No score. This is Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
East Metro Paging is your hometown paging company, offering quality Motorola pagers and coverage options ranging from Metro to nationwide. East Metro handles their billing and repairs in-house. That means if you have a problem with your pager, you're not passed off to someone else. East Metro Paging offers their customers free of charge a loaner pager if their unit should need repairs. And if you're considering a pager, or if you're interested in moving your pager service to a dealer that specializes in communications, call East Metro Paging, 786-6796. You can also visit their store at 7115 Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of Newton General in Covington. East Metro Paging is a division of East Metro Communications Incorporated, this area's oldest communications dealer.
Tradition and excellence since 1946. That's WGFS, AM 1430, Covington.
And we are back from Riverside Park, Newton High School, zipping along, and the Newton Rams and the Berkmar Patriots scoreless as we head to the top half of inning number 3. Bill Dolan brings you the play-by-play. Let's say the Rams can hold the Patriots for another inning here.
And Jason Lunsford, the man that has to do it, he's been effective so far, allowing 2 base runners, one on a free pass and the other reached on an error, but he pitched around that, doing a good job. And he will face the number 9 hitter in the lineup, and then back around to the top of the order. There'll be Jeff Van Buren, the second baseman, then J.R. Vanderijst and Jeff Luce batting here in the third inning. When we come back with the bottom of the third inning, it'll be wing-ding inning time. The Hard Luck Cafe and your chance to win 100 hot wings. Jeff Van Buren, the second baseman for the Berkmar Patriots, leads it off. Starting to cool off a little bit here at the old ballpark. I see some jackets going on the fans down in the grandstand below us there. And you can see the wind whipping the American flag out there. The first pitch from Jason Lunsford, and that's just a little bit high for a ball.
The wind has just kicked up in the last inning or so, and not to be looking too far ahead, but 2 left-handed batters come to bat for the Rams in the third.
Here's the pitch from Lunsford. That's outside for a ball. And one of them just went deep Wednesday night, Lane Floyd, and with that wind blowing out to right, he has the capability of doing it if he can wait on one of those off-speed pitches. Lunsford behind the count, 2-0. Here's the pitch. Just a little bit low, and Jason's struggling a little bit. He's behind in the count, 3-0. Top of the third. Here's the 3-0. That's a strike called as he caught the corner. 3-1. Van Buren trying to duck out of the way, trying to get a little help from the umpire, but he was not fooled as that pitch caught the corner. Lunsford working quickly, wheels and deals the 3-1. Strike! A fastball on the outside corner. And Van Buren is holding something that he hasn't had to use yet. I wonder if he knows what to do with it, Kevin Holden.
Hasn't had to do it in 5 pitches. We'll see if he does on number 6, Bill.
Here it comes, and he dribbles one out to Matt Easterday at short. Scoops, throws high, and dropped now by the first baseman, Stephen Hires. And I believe we're going to have to call that an error on the first baseman, Stephen Hires. The throw appeared to fool him a little bit. Actually hit in his glove, and he dropped it. So the Rams, as good as they played defensively Wednesday night, a little shaky tonight.
Yeah, they've had a little trouble with the infield grounders, and again, it's on the left side of the infield where a little of that trouble has come. Easterday's throw to first there was kind of like a rising fastball that you would see. It started probably at about chest level, and it ended up over Hires' head by the time it hit first base, and I think that's probably why it fooled him.
I think it actually quit rising, and that's what actually happened. It didn't go as high as he thought. Kind of a strange play, because when he gloved it, he still had plenty of time. They would have had him at first base, and it just kind of trickled out of his glove. 1 ball the count to the leadoff hitter now, J.R. Vanderijst. Runner leads from first. Here's the pitch. Swinging the ball, looped out towards left. Bryce Avery there and makes the play. That ball, once again, just kind of a looping thing. Not much noise coming off the bat, and not a real strong swing.
And guess what? That was the same man who did that in the first inning to start this game. So J.R. Vandereist has been well ahead of the Jason Lunsford pitches and hitting some weak pop flies. So he's one man who Lunsford has fooled twice here.
That'll bring Jeff Luce, the shortstop. He popped up to Jason his first time at bat. Jeff Van Buren leads away from first. Jason checks him and pitches. The runner's going. Ball skied to center. Luke Allen moves about 3 steps to his left, and that'll be easy for out number 2.
In 2 2/3 innings, Bill, of the 8 outs, 7 have been via the pop fly, and they've been spread out almost exactly equally. There have been 2 to the left fielder Avery, 1 to Allen in center, 1 to Cleary in right, 1 to Moon, and 1 to Easterday are up the middle combination for this afternoon, and 1 right back to the pitcher. So they've spread it around today.
Looks like a power pitcher getting all these pop-ups, doesn't it? Here's his first pitch to Dane Weigel, the designated hitter, and it's a called strike. Jason trying to work around the error. Checks the runner. Here's the 1-0-1, and that evens the count at 1-1.
When Lunsford's been missing, he's been missing low, and he's been very close to the strike zone, so it's a very encouraging sign. He's only walked 1 and hasn't struck out a batter. Looks a lot like that Shiloh game where he pitched a shutout.
Here's the next one, down in the dirt. Middlebrooks up, the runner going to throw, and he is safe as the ball just gets away from Ryan Moon. Good job of Matt Easterday of backing up. Couldn't tell right away whether the runner was breaking or not, so I believe that's probably going to be a wild pitch, Kevin.
I believe it will be, because when that ball hit the dirt was when he decided to break for second base. And Van Buren out of the number 9 spot has a little speed because he got down there fairly quickly.
Chris came up with it in good shape, had a chance to get him, but then the ball, it was real close down there, and then it just did get away from Ryan Moon. Swing and a miss by Dane Weigel, and that evens the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jason really appeared to take something off of that one. It's hard to take off much, but Weigel way out in front on that pitch. Runner leads from second. Lunsford checks him, steps off, and keeping the runner at bay.
Bill, I have a lot of respect for the pitchers who throw a lot of off-speed pitches because you have to have exactly the right difference between fastball and changeup so it won't be spotted.
And another weak pop-up. Ryan Moon heading for it, and he can't get it, and the run will score. So a tough break, a good pitch by Jason Lunsford, and the ball managed to somehow drop in there. Ryan Moon, the wind just kept blowing it towards the right field line, and evidently Ryan had called for the ball, and it may have ended up being closer to Stephen Hires, but he had backed away from it.
Yeah, Moon was going toward the right field line on that one, and Hires, who originally was right under where the ball ended up landing, had to evacuate so as not to hit Moon as he was trying to catch that one, and the Rams will have a minor conference here as Berkmar has taken the early 1-0 lead here in the third.
And that will go in the books as an unearned run, of course, since the runner shouldn't even have been on base. The Rams should be out of the inning already, so you hate to give 4 outs in an inning, as they say.
Yep, and that's exactly what the Rams did here, and Berkmar, after getting what would have been 3 outs, took advantage.
That's actually almost 5 outs now, as that ball probably could have and should have been caught. Jason wheels and deals, and there's a looper down the right field line, and it goes foul. That could have been a world of trouble if it had stayed fair off the bat of Justin Horner trying to help himself.
Horner placed that ball in no man's land. The right fielder and the first baseman both with far too long of a run to be able to catch a ball like that.
Fortunately, it hooked foul and kept things from happening. The Berkmar Patriots, of course, taking advantage with 2 outs, had the runner going from second, and he's got him picked off. The throw back down to second, and he's saved. Ryan Moon took the throw, evidently back a little too far on the bag. The throw appeared to beat him, Kevin.
The throw was right there, as a matter of fact, and the runner, Dane Weigel, did a pretty good job of getting down the line even after the pickoff throw went to first base, and credit him running full speed from first to second with being able to steal that one. Not often against a team like the Rams that you see someone able to pull off a steal despite the pickoff throw.
And here's the pitch from Lunsford, and that's high and tight. 1-1 the count now to Justin Horner. Jason had him picked off. Stephen Hires made a good throw, and like I say, evidently Ryan was back a little bit on the bag because the throw definitely beat him down there. The runner going to third. The pitch fouled back to the backstop.
An interesting play there. A hit and run with 2 out and a runner at second base.
Evidently, Berkmar feels they're not going to score a whole lot of runs off the Ram pitching staff, so they're trying to manufacture runs. Does that sound familiar?
It certainly does. There have been a lot of teams to do that off of the Rams this year.
And the Newton Rams, of course, a team that likes to try to manufacture runs themselves. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Justin Horner up to the plate. Lunsford checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Down low in the dirt. Good pickup by Chris Middlebrooks. Horner could really help himself here. Lunsford checking Weigel. Pickoff play. Back in time, though. You know, Kevin, I was thinking, I kind of remember Horner now. In fact, he threw even softer than this last year when he came into pitch. He did come into pitch at the, I believe, the Berkmar game that was here later in the game, and I just remember, and there's a little nubber behind the plate, and it's a foul ball. And I believe he threw at that time even slower than what he's throwing now.
Of course, I was unable to be here, I believe, last time around when the Rams and Berkmar Patriots played here at Riverside Park, but we did go up there to Berkmar and see his older brother, if I'm not mistaken, pitch against the Rams up there. So the Horners have certainly a tradition of good pitching for these Patriots, and they beat the Rams up there thanks to it last year.
Lunsford checks Weigel down at second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a weak one, and it's fouled back. Good job of battling, though, by Justin Horner as he fouled off a tough pitch down and in. Barely managed to get a piece of it. Two and two the count. Lunsford checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Just high for a ball. That works the count full now, 3-2.
We'll see if Lunsford decides to stay with Horner here. You've got a full count, you've got first base open, and Horner is the cleanup man. And on deck, Brian DeYoung hit a weak pop-up last time.
Here's the pitch, swinging the ball, skied to left. That'll be easy. Bryce Avery coming in, and makes the catch. And that'll do it for the Patriots in their half of the third inning. But they do score 1 run. They did so on 1 hit, 1 very costly Ram error, and 1 runner left on base. We head now to the bottom of the third inning and the Hard Luck Cafe wingding inning. Your score is Berkmar 1, Newton 0. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Just check out these great prices for all your spring cleaning and gardening. Corona 21-inch head shears or Corona 24-inch bypass lopper, your choice, just $19.96. An Ace spring rake, $7.96. A Garden Weasel cultivator garden claw, $34.96. An Ace folding pruning saw, just $5.97. Or an Ace bypass lopper, just $19.97. It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware, your headquarters for spring and gardening. Mayfield Ace Hardware on the square in Covington.
What's the crowd favorite at parties any time of the year? Why, it's hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. With flavors ranging from extra mild to TNT, they can placate any palate. There are 3 convenient locations to serve you, one in Madison, one in Conyers, and the original Little Red Building in Covington. So stop by for the best hot wings around or call ahead so your order will be ready when you get there. In Covington, the number is 787-0421. That's 787-0421.
The Hard Luck Cafe sponsors the wingding inning on WGFS AM 1430. We're back with Ram baseball, the Rams and the Berkmar Patriots. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Holden. Bill Dolan brings you the play-by-play as the Berkmar Patriots lead the Rams 1-0 in the bottom of the third.
Thank you very much, Kevin Holden. And leading off for the Rams will be Lane Floyd, the designated hitter, and he'll be batting for John Siebold of Covington, Georgia. Lane Floyd went deep the other night. Could he win 100 hot wings for John Siebold? Here's the first pitch, and that's a ball high and away.
And the wind kicks back up and blowing out to right field. 2 left-handed bats due up for the Rams here.
Lane Floyd. Here's the 1-0, and upstairs for a ball. Rams down 1-0 on an unearned run. Speaking of earned run averages, I guess when we finally figured the stats this week, Luke's will be so small we won't be able to see it.
It'll be under half a run per game, certainly.
Here's the pitch to Lane. Drilled down at the third baseman, off his glove, up and throws, and he got him. Good job by Jason Elkins, the third baseman. He stayed with it after booting it. Fortunately for him, it didn't kick too far away, and he was able to throw out Lane Floyd at first.
And so with one down, Doyle Baker, and in the Wing Ding inning, Craig Treadwell is our contestant. If you'd like to be a contestant in the Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding inning, put your name, address, and phone number on a postcard. Send it to the Wing Ding inning, WGFS, P.O. Box 869, Covington, Georgia 30210.
Here's the first pitch to Baker. Swing and a chopper up the middle. The shortstop, Jeff Luce, over quickly, throws, and in time. Rams making it easy.
This Berkmar team looks fairly sharp on the defensive side. In fact, they're about as sharp as a defensive team as we've seen in Quad A South so far. They're making good plays in the infield. By the way, if you want to be an entrant, you can also send an entry to the Hard Luck Cafe on Highway 278. You can also bring it by our studios on Hendrick Street in downtown Covington. And, of course, you can fax it to us at 784-9892.
Or you can even drop it by the press box if we're here broadcasting the game. Bryce Avery, a strong left-handed batter to the plate. Here's the pitch, and fouled back as he was trying to win. Mark Birch of Conyers, Georgia, 100 Hot Wings.
And I'll tell you something, that this is going to seem kind of weird, but if there's a time that Bryce Avery could hit one out of the park, it would be right now. He's having trouble with high pitches, but Justin Horner keeps the ball around the strike zone, and Avery was hitting the ball well yesterday.
There's an off-speed pitch off the outside corner, but Bryce went fishing for it and came up empty. He's in the hole now. No balls and 2 strikes. Horner working quickly. Here's the 0-2. And there's a pitch drilled to center field. J.R. Vanderijst underneath it and squeezes it for the out. So no winners in the Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding inning. Ball game zipping right along. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Your score is still Berkmar 1 and Newton on the Schneid. This is Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
Hey there, Carl the Greenskeeper here for the Hard Luck Cafe. You know me, I'm the guy who delivers hot wings to the trivia show every Saturday morning. Randy wanted me to be sure and let everyone know that the Hard Luck now has 3 locations. That's one in Conyers, one in Madison, and of course the original location in Covington. You know, that's that little red building down there where Nationwide used to be. So for the best hot wings around, stop by the Hard Luck or call ahead so your wings will be ready when you get there. I can't remember all the numbers, but in Covington it's 787-0421. That's 787-0421. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to tell them that Carl sent you.
Aside from choosing the right home, it's important to choose the right mortgage loan. At Newton Federal Savings and Loan, we're putting today's low rates together with prompt hometown service in offering special construction perm loans with one-time closing, conventional and balloon mortgages, and more. And servicing of your loan remains right here, too. Newton Federal Savings and Loan, 3175 Highway 278, Covington. FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
Riverside Park and Newton High School, the site of this afternoon's 8 Quad A South battle, the Newton Rams and the Berkmar Patriots. 1-0 Patriots. We head to the 4th. Bill Dolan brings you our play-by-play action.
Thank you very much, Kevin Holden. Only 1 hit in the ball game, and that only about a 105-foot little pop fly that eluded Ryan Moon and drove in the only run of the ball game. The Rams so far without a hit, only 1 base runner, and he was erased, caught stealing. We are in the top of the 4th inning now, and Brian DeYoung, Tony Martin, and Michael Barrett will hit for the Patriots against Jason Lunsford. Jason, only 1 hit, and not a very strong one at that, but it was enough to get the run home, an unearned run. Here's the first pitch from Lunsford, swing and a miss, and that one had a little bit of zip on it as Brian DeYoung unable to come up with it.
Now the second time through the order, Lunsford throwing a few more fastballs, threw a lot of off-speed pitches the first time through.
Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss again. He really seemed to blow that one by DeYoung. DeYoung almost falling over going after it. He's in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch, wasted outside.
Lunsford set him up well there, 2 fastballs and then sort of dropping in the off-speed well off the plate.
1-2, and here's Jason's pitch. Excuse me, but 2-2 the count. That was pretty close, Kevin Holden.
Close call. Lunsford coming in about waist high, maybe a tad higher with that one.
Here comes the 2-2 from Lunsford, and that's way in and down, and it makes the count run full now, 3-2. Jason's only walked one so far in the ball game. Working very quickly. Here's the 3-2 and a swing and a miss, and there's the strikeout, and that's going to be the first strikeout in the ball game for Jason. So he's got 1 K to go along with the base on balls.
These two pitchers are both throwing the ball very well and keeping it around the plate, and the defense doing the work. Lunsford has struck out 1, Horner has struck out 2. Both pitchers have only walked 1 batter, and the difference basically has been the defense. 1 error by the Rams led to a run.
And a swing and a miss to Tony Martin. Jason appears to have really gotten into a groove now, and he's really working quickly, too. Here's the 0-1 to Martin. Off speed, just off the outside part of the plate. That evens the count at 1-1. Here's the next one. Swing and a miss at 2-2, and you could hear that bounce off of Chris Middlebrooks. We saw Derek Coggins earlier. There's Stanley Allen, the JV coach, down below, and another strikeout. Off speed again, and Mr. Martin takes a right turn and heads back to the dugout.
Contrary to popular belief, Bill, it doesn't take a 90-mile-an-hour fastball to bring up a few strikeouts. Lunsford has shown us that a couple of times this year. It just is a matter of throwing the right pitch at the right time. Basically, if you fool a hitter, whether it's 50 miles an hour or 90 and he swings and misses, you get a strikeout. Shows Lunsford knows how to fool the hitters.
Here's the first pitch to Barrett, and there's a strike called on the inside corner. Jason working quickly, staying ahead in the count. Here's the 0-1. Swing and drill to left field. That ball hit well. And a base hit for Michael Barrett, the catcher for the Patriots. Jason's going to give up base hits. We know that, and it's going to happen. When you don't throw hard, if you don't hit an exact spot, the ball's going to get hit. But what he's trying not to do is hurt himself with base on balls, and he hasn't so far. The only thing that's hurt him has been some not quite so good defense behind him.
Josh Waters is in as the courtesy runner for Michael Barrett at first base, which means that Drew Highsong is the only Berkmar Patriot that hasn't been used. And no, this isn't a marathon game. Berkmar only brought 12 players with him today.
Lunsford checks the runner, pitch is drilled. Doyle Baker with a good stab. Long throw across the diamond. And this time the perfect throw, and he gets him at first base. The toughest play he had to make, but you know what, Kevin? He didn't have time to think about it this time.
He was down the third baseline, and as you mentioned, didn't have time to think.
Came up and made a strong, long throw to retire the side. That could have been trouble, but a great play by Doyle Baker. For the Patriots, no runs. They did get 1 hit. There were no Ram errors and 1 runner left on base. We head now to the bottom of the 4th inning, and when we come back, Kevin Holden will be bringing you the play-by-play as the Newton Rams trail the Berkmar Patriots 1-0. This is Newton Ram Baseball, brought to you live on WGFS AM 1430.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered with vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869, 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
How do you spend your Saturday mornings? Why not join Bill Dolan and Kevin Holden from 9 to 10 for the Saturday morning Super Trivia Spectacular? That's your chance to win prizes and show your knowledge of trivia right here on WGFS AM 1430.
And welcome back to Riverside Park and Newton Ram Baseball. I'm Bill Dolan, and I'm switching over and taking over the color commentary here to bring you the play-by-play the rest of the game and hopefully get some runs out of the Rams, my partner Kevin Holden.
We switch from the right-hander to the left-hander. Hopefully the defense and the pitching will stay the same, and hopefully the offense will improve. We'll find out momentarily. Matt Easterday, Ryan Moon, and Stephen Hires, the top third of the Ram order, due up here. Justin Horner, right-hander for the Berkmar Patriots, has faced the minimum through 3 innings. Gets the sign, his first pitch of the fourth to Easterday, a swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
And Matt Easterday once again fooled by the off-speed pitch. That ball way out of the strike zone, down in the dirt even.
Horner has struck out 2 Rams and walked 1 so far. The wind and the pitch, strike called outside corner, make it 0-2. Easterday a ground out to first in the first. Right-handed batter with the stance pointing toward right center. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss, but it gets away from the catcher. Easterday likely to be at first. No throw. The Rams have a leadoff man on in the most unusual of circumstances, a strikeout and a wild pitch.
And whatever it takes to get something going here. That, again, such a good pitch. It was bad. It was a terrible pitch down in the dirt. I don't know. Matt obviously very fooled by it. The Rams not used to this slow stuff, and they continue to be off stride, and Easterday way off stride, but so bad that it ended up good as he reached base.
That ball bounced in just the right spot and well up the third baseline. So here's Ryan Moon, runner faking the steal. First pitch is high, ball 1. Easterday is back at first base. Moon walked his first time, was caught on the delayed steal, and a good throw from Michael Barrett probably means the Rams won't be attempting too many more delayed steals in this game.
Rams need to be a little more patient here and see if they can't coerce a few bases on balls and get some things going here. Matt Easterday took 3 strikes. One of them was a strike, the other 2 in the dirt, but at least he reached base. Ryan Moon hopefully will be a little more disciplined and make him throw a strike.
2 of the most disciplined hitters on this Ram team are coming up here with Moon and then Hires on deck. Horner, righty versus righty, stretch and pitch. It's high, ball 1. No one out. Bottom half of the fourth, Berkmar scored their run thanks to an error on the first baseman, Stephen Hires, then 2 flyouts, followed by a single, and that came after a wild pitch. So a couple of defensive miscues led to the only run of this game so far. Easterday takes his lead at first. Horner takes a look in. His pitch is high.
And for the first time, he appears to be struggling a little bit, trying to throw more fastballs, concentrating a lot on the runner, too. So maybe if the Rams can get a few runners on, they can get his concentration off a little bit, and maybe they can figure this guy out and somebody can hit the ball a little bit.
Well, the middle of the order is coming up, so if they have a few base runners, you know that the Rams will have a good chance to drive in a couple of runs. Remember that the 3 batters coming up, 4, 5, and 6, Allen, Middlebrooks, and Cleary combined for 3 homers yesterday, or on Wednesday's game against Parkview. There's a taken strike from Moon, making 3 balls and 1 strike to the Rams' second sacker. But Allen hit a 3-run homer in the first inning, and Middlebrooks and Cleary responsible for solo shots in the 4th and 6th, respectively. Stretch and a pitch, hit and run, and executed to perfection. The base hit to right field. Easterday will have to stay put because the right fielder, Brian D. Young, was playing very shallow on the right-handed batter. Could not ask for it any better. Hitting to the right side by Ryan Moon.
And that ball went exactly where the second baseman had been standing. If that ball is not done, if that ball's hit and it's not a hit and run, that's a double play, and the Rams are not looking too good. Meanwhile, now they have their first hit of the game. Runners at first and second, nobody out, and Stephen Hires to the dish.
Hires struck out his first time. The Rams couldn't buy any luck before this week, and this week they really had some luck. Well, they had, of course, the luck against Winder, and they really didn't need a lot of luck Wednesday against Parkview, but they got some good pitches in good spots. Check swing pop up right side. Second baseman coming over, calling for it. Making the play is Jeff Van Buren. A little far off the first base bag was Ryan Moon, but he made it back in time, so 1 down.
And on that particular play, that very similar to the ones that ended up costing the Rams, the wind not blowing quite as hard, and the second baseman was able to get to that one. That was kind of a whoops, I didn't mean to swing by Stephen Hires, and that's the first out of the inning.
Now 1 good line drive could tie this score and maybe more. Here's Luke Allen. Allen a strikeout his first time. He takes the first pitch for a strike at the knees.
And Luke really looked uncomfortable his first at bat. Didn't get any good swings, and just really looked off. In fact, swung at a pitch that was well off the strike zone.
Allen 2 for 4 Wednesday in a historic game at Parkview High School. Historic game for the Rams program. Pitches up high, and that makes it a ball and a strike, the 9-0 win. First time the Rams have beaten the Panthers at Parkview since the two came back into the same sub-region a few years back.
And the third shutout already this season for the Rams. All of last year they only threw two, I believe.
2 team shutouts last year. In fact, there were no complete game shutouts last year from the Rams. There have been 2 so far this year. Stretch pitch to Luke Allen out in front, swings and misses. It's 1-2. Lunsford threw one against the Generals, Shiloh Generals, but to throw a complete game shutout at the Parkview Panthers is really a big feather in your cap. Let's hope that Allen can carry the confidence into his offense here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Runners at first and second for the Rams, trying to push their first run across this afternoon. Stretch, and the pitch swung on, popped up, foul, out of play.
And Luke had just a little better cut there than what he's been getting here. He's really anxious at the plate, and that's so tough to do when you're a good fastball hitter, to face this junk. Luke really struggling. Now he takes time and steps out, checking the signs from Coach Brassfield. Rams need to do something this inning, I think. They need to get something across and get their confidence back.
They got the first 2 men on. They are still at first and second here. 1-2, the curveball, but it stayed up high, so it evens the count.
That particular pitch, Justin Horner really telegraphed that. You could see just as he let go of it that it was going to be some kind of a let-up or a breaking ball, and it didn't do a thing. So that's the first time I really noticed that. Let's watch and see if he does something similar to that again.
Takes a look in. We might see the curveball again here, 2-2. Catcher setting up outside, stretch and pitch. It is a curveball, called strike 3, outside corner. Allen goes down for the second time here. The first time he's gone down looking. First time was a swinging strike 3.
And once again, Luke struggling with the slow stuff. It's you really have to be disciplined with a pitcher like this. And Chris Middlebrooks has shown some good discipline at the plate, so it's going to take the 2-out base hit from the senior leader to get the job done here for the Rams.
Middlebrooks flied out to center field his first time. Takes a look in. Looks at the first pitch, and it bounces away from the catcher. Runners think about going, but it bounced away a good 3 or 4 seconds after he caught it, so they'll have to stay put. 1-0 to the Ram catcher. Michael Barrett had that ball squeeze out of the mitt well after he caught it.
Kind of strange. I think that's probably why the Ram runners weren't looking and going as the ball got away. Otherwise, they probably could have moved up. That would have been a big help.
2 down here in the 4th. Stretch and the pitch. That one's up high. So Horner is behind Middlebrooks here, 2-0. Remember that if the Patriots had retired Easterday on that strikeout without letting him reach on the wild pitch, we wouldn't be in this situation. But the Rams will hopefully try to take advantage of the Berkmar mistake. Middlebrooks takes another one up high. Make it 3 balls and no strikes to the catcher. Richie Cleary on deck.
And you don't want to load the bases with Big Richie up there, because with nowhere to put him, you may have to throw him a fastball.
And if you throw him a fastball, as the pitcher from the Parkview Panthers learned, Ryan Ledden, figured out in a hurry that you probably don't want to throw a fastball in Richie Cleary's wheelhouse. That ball got out of here about as fast as any Ram homer that we've seen in a while. That was up at Lilburn at Parkview High School. Likely the take sign with the 3-0 pitch. He takes it for strike 1, inside corner.
The old automatic there. Down in the game, of course, you're trying to get runners any way you can, so I'm sure Chris didn't really have much of a choice there.
Also, as you had mentioned before, if he reaches base, you're likely to have to throw a fastball to probably the best fastball hitter on this team, and one of the best certainly in the region. Horner decides to step off. Matt Easterday is our runner at second base. He struck out but reached first thanks to a wild pitch. Ryan Moon followed with a perfectly executed hit and run. Jeff Van Buren was headed for second base, and Moon hit it in the vacated hole at second.
The only bad luck on the play was that the right fielder was charging in so quick that he was able to field the ball, and the Rams were not able to be at the corners, because you know they love to pull some things when they've got runners at the corners.
Likely it would have changed the complexion of this inning, but with first and second, of course, you have a couple of options. You could either double steal, which the Rams have done a little of, but probably not against Michael Barrett, who appears to have a strong arm. The other is to try to let the bats do the rest, and they have not so far. 3 balls, 1 strike to Middlebrooks. Horner the stretch, their pick off to second base, not in time. Easterday had leaned toward third base and appeared for a moment like he would be a dead duck, but he just got in under the tag.
Evidently, he got his hand in between there. The umpire right on position. A lot of hoots and hollers from the Patriot fans down below. It looked like the ball beat him, but Matt evidently got his hand in underneath, in between the arms of the second baseman.
You say evidently. I think if Easterday had been called out, there probably would not have been much protest on the part of the Rams. So perhaps another break here for the Newton High Rams. First and second, 2 down. 3-1. Horner bringing it home, and Middlebrooks takes a mighty cut but comes up short, so we run the count full here, 3-2.
I wonder if he just swung at ball 4, Kevin. That looked like that high fastball up, at least letter high, and now he's going to have to protect the plate and swing at something in that range. That one might have been a good one to let go by.
Now, as you mentioned, the at-bat changes completely with 2 strikes. They fake the pickoff play to second base, but no one's there, except, of course, for Matt Easterday, who trots back in.
Rams trying to get something done, make them pay for the mistake they made by allowing Matt Easterday to reach base.
The scoreboard is full, and the pitch is high, ball 4 with the runners going, so you can empty out the balls and strikes. The bases are now loaded. After all that, they walked Chris Middlebrooks, and now with the bases loaded and 2 down, a huge at-bat here, if you can say such a thing, in the 4th inning. Richie Cleary comes to the plate. Matt Vaughn is in to pinch run for Middlebrooks at first base. That's a courtesy runner. Middlebrooks is a man that we will see back here in the top half of the 5th.
And hopefully Richie Cleary can ring one up here for the Rams.
Hoping that he's going to dial 8 for long distance, or dialing 9 for long distance, or whatever long distance would be here.
I'd settle for a base hit driving in 2 about now.
Cleary flied out to left the first time he was up in the second. Bases loaded, 2 out for the Rams. Swing from Richie Cleary and a pop fly to right field. In comes Brian DeYoung. A little misjudging, but he adjusts and makes the catch. And so the Rams leave the bases loaded here, so they don't push a run across. Rams did have 1 hit, and they left the 3 on base. After 4 innings from Riverside Park, the Rams trailing in an 8-quad-A South battle against the Berkmar Patriots. It's 1-0. Berkmar leads. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
The best money manager around is a checking account from the Bank of Covington. It's easy to keep track of your income and all your expenses with your checkbook and the detailed monthly statements we send you. It lets you see where you might save money, and it really helps in balancing your budget. If you're not already enjoying such financial assistance, learn all the advantages of a personal checking account at one of the convenient Bank of Covington locations. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
And welcome back to Riverside Park and Newton Ram baseball. Rams had the sacks jammed but came up empty in the 4th. We head now to the 5th inning, and they're on the short end of a 1-0 score. Here with the play-by-play, Mr. Kevin Holden.
All right, Bill Dolan. Well, the bats, at least run scored-wise, remain silent. We got them some base runners but couldn't push anything across. Let's hope the pitching remains strong for the Rams. Jason Lunsford with an excellent outing so far, giving up only 2 singles in 4 innings. In fact, the last extra base hit that the Newton Rams allowed as a team, you have to go all the way back to the 4th inning against Winder Barrow back on Tuesday when Michael Walden hit a triple to start an inning. The 2 runs there gave Winder a lead of 6-2, and the Rams eventually came back to win 7-6. Jeff Van Buren, first man up for the Patriots. Looks like a second baseman as he stands up there. The first pitch is low.
Kind of a diminutive sort, so to speak.
Wind on the 1-0 pitch, high, ball 2. Of course, when you say diminutive, you, of course, say that he has a diminutive strike zone.
And Jason's struggling with that right at the moment.
The sign, Lunsford's wind, is 2-0 pitch, inside ball 3. Now, the last thing you'd want to do is to walk the leadoff man in any circumstance. And in a one-run game, you can do a lot of damage that way. The wind, 3-0 pitch, strike 1, right down the heart. Van Buren, the only person on the field today to say that he has crossed home plate with a run, thanks to a single from Dane Weigel. The wind, the 3-1 pitch to him, and just low, ball 4. Close pitch from Lunsford. But Berkmar comes up with a base runner here to start the top half of inning number 5. And they'll go back to the top of the order in J.R. Vanderijst, who has been completely fooled by Lunsford, hitting 2 pop flies to left. Van Buren leading away at first base. The left-hander Lunsford will help to keep him close. 1 stolen base from the Patriots in this game. The bunt is foul, popped up and back to the screen, 0-1. Vanderijst, a leadoff man, unable to execute the bunt.
And once again, it looks like Berkmar also is still trying to get a run any way they possibly can. Not a bad idea to try to go ahead and sacrifice the runner over here, especially since Vanderijst has had problems against Jason so far.
And of course, the pitching of Justin Horner doesn't hurt either. We are locked in a pitcher's duel, ladies and gentlemen. No earned runs allowed from either side yet. They go to first base, and back in is Van Buren.
Rams looking for the bunt. Doyle Baker well into on the grass at third base.
Faking the bunt, pulling it back. A one-hopper to Baker. They're going to try for 2. The throw is low to second base, but they got the out there. Throw to first, drop by Hires. Safe there is Vanderijst. Van Buren retired 5-4. And I was worried for just a moment because if you remember, Vanderijst pulled the ball twice against the slow baller Lunsford, and with Baker standing in there, he was going to get a line shot, but did a good job on the one-hopper, but a bad throw to first.
Actually, not a real terrible throw. It looks like I may see part of the problem there. Stevens looking straight into the sun if you look out there on the throw coming across, and that appeared to bother him there on the relay from Ryan Moon. That would have taken an absolute perfect turn to execute the double play there.
Bouncer down the third baseline, foul from Jeff Luce. It's 0-1 to him, but Vanderijst reaching on the fielder's choice because, again, we cannot assume that they would have turned the double play. 5-4, Van Buren is out at second base. Now, as the days are getting longer, the time is hitting where about the middle innings of this game, the sun is giving havoc to the first baseman and second baseman, and that time has come, and as you mentioned, Hires having a lot of trouble out there. Swing and a miss from Jeff Luce. Make it 0-2. Luce is another one who has had some trouble with the offerings of Lunsford.
Of course, that'll change starting after Saturday night. Tomorrow night, the daylight savings time goes into effect, so it'll be almost 7:30 at this time. Hopefully most 5 o'clock starts will be over by then.
Swinging a high liner to right center field. Coming over is Luke Allen. Uses the speed to make the play for out number 2. Well hit ball, second straight time that Jeff Luce has flied out to center. So with 2 down, the Rams will need to retire Dane Weigel to get out of this minor jam.
And that one carried a little farther. If you notice now, Kevin, the Old Glory is pointing straight out towards center field, so that ball got up in the wind a little bit, and Luke had to make a pretty tough catch.
Did a nice job, had to go on his horse to make the play. 1 for 2 is Dane Weigel. Runner going first pitch, it's inside. Middlebrook's throw, he beats it by quite a bit. A stolen base for J.R. Vanderijst. Stole it on the pitcher, I believe.
Yeah, Jason kind of forgot about him that time. Chris didn't really have a prayer. He came up, made a good pickup on the ball in the dirt, and made a decent throw, but he was already down there.
So the runner in scoring position now with the number 3 batter up for the Patriots. They will try to keep him from driving that man in, and they do here as a swing and a miss makes it 0-1 to Weigel. Rams have the bottom third of the order. In the bottom half of the 5th, they still have yet to dent the scoreboard. They have 1 hit. Berkmar has 2 hits and 1 run. Stretch and Lunsford's pitch is low. Ball 1.
Weigel, of course, was the one that hit that little 110-foot pop fly that Ryan Moon couldn't quite get to, that kind of landed between he and Stephen Hires out there and allowed the runner to score from second base.
You've got a leadoff man at second, so any base hit into the outfield more than likely drives him home. He's going to third. There's a swing and a grounder past the third baseman, Baker. It's a base hit. Berkmar will score another one, make it 2-0 in favor of the Patriots, and just as the Rams perfectly executed a hit and run earlier with a runner at second and 2 down. Doyle Baker was running to cover third base and vacated the spot where Dane Weigel drove the base hit.
That ball hit exactly where Doyle was standing. He hadn't actually even moved too much when the ball was hit, but he was definitely leaning there and could not go back. So once again, the stolen base there plays a big role in allowing that run to score. Rams could be in trouble now.
Now here's Horner, who's 0 for 2. Important to retire this man and keep Berkmar from further damage. Rams already trail by 2, and they just got their first base hit in the bottom half of the 4th. First pitch inside to Horner. 1 ball, no strikes. Horner a ground out and a fly out. He's pulled the ball both times. Stretch. And the pitch. Pulls one to Matt Easterday. This time the roller takes and feeds Ryan Moon at second base for the force play. That'll do it for the Patriots. They pick up a run, though, on 1 base hit, no errors. The Berkmar Patriots left a man on base. So as we go to the bottom of the 5th, the lead gets a little bigger for the Berkmar Patriots. They lead the Newton Rams by a score of 2-0. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
There are some who say you can't put a price on quality, but here at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, you'll find it's more affordable. That's because you can now get the legendary quality of a Toro Recycler lawnmower for as little as $299. Toro's exclusive recycler technology cuts grass clippings so well you could even miss a week and still get a great-looking lawn without bagging. Stop in and see us today at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, where you can get the Toro you've always wanted for as little as $299. So you finally decided this is the year you'll buy that new Toro Recycler lawnmower. You know, the one that gives you a great-looking, healthy lawn without bagging? Well, we at Coast to Coast Home and Auto would like to be the first to congratulate you on your excellent sense of timing. That's because for qualified buyers, you can buy it now with no payments or interest charges for 90 days. 90 days is as good as cash here at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, where you'll not only get a great Toro mower, you'll also buy some time.
And welcome back to Riverside Park. And if you're a Newton Ram fan, the news is not good. They're falling behind now 2-0. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Here to try and get some runs for you, Kevin Holden.
We'll start it off with Lane Floyd and Bill Dolan. We thank you very much. Doyle Baker will follow Floyd, and then Bryce Avery. The 7, 8, and 9 spots for the Newton Rams. Justin Horner has allowed 1 hit to the Rams through 4 innings. And Bill, there has not been an extra base hit yet in this game, so we have definitely seen a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel, and little things have given Berkmar the lead.
Yes, they have. They have performed and taken advantage of Ram mistakes, mental errors, and physical errors, whereas the Rams had their opportunity in the last inning and did not get the job done. Kind of an important play, as big of a role as he played the other night. Luke kind of really hurt him with the strikeout there when they had the first 2 runners on.
We'll start it off with Floyd as the wind kicks back up. The left-hander takes 1 low. Floyd a ground out to third. Back in the 3rd inning, the Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning. Bill, I thought yesterday that we might give away some hot wings with the way the balls were flying out of Panther Field in Lilburn, but just happened to put the wing-ding inning in the wrong spot. Wind and the pitch. Swung on it, bounced up the middle. There's a base hit for Lane Floyd, right back where it came from. Credit Floyd with the base hit. He has had a hot bat of late.
And that's the way you hit a slow ball pitcher or a knuckleball pitcher. You just you slow your timing down, and he just stroked it right back up the middle, and that ball almost knocked Justin Horner down. Good job of hitting by Lane. Hopefully the Rams are going to try to get back into this a little bit. You're right, though, that Wednesday night, 4 different innings home runs were hit, but not the one we picked.
In fact, they surrounded it. They had 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th, and we picked the 5th as the Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning, and unfortunately, no Ram took one out of the park there. So Randy gets to save his hot wings, maybe for us tomorrow morning. Pitch instead to first base, and Floyd is back in, and I'll be watching from the front row of the studio audience tomorrow on the Saturday morning Super Trivia Spectacular. You'll have a special co-host. Baker 0 for 1. Horner brings it home, and Baker pops one high. First base side, it's out of play.
Yeah, we hope everyone will tune in between 9 and 10 for the Saturday morning Super Trivia Spectacular, and I'm sure you'll stop by and come on up and we'll talk a little bit about the Rams and hopefully about a win. So get some runs, Kevin.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about a win, we need at least 2 runs, and we almost came a step closer to one there as a pickoff throw to first almost got past Tony Martin at first base.
Of course, that last run that Berkmar scored takes a lot of things away from the Rams. They need 2 now, so kind of takes away any chance of a sacrifice or anything along those lines.
0-1 pitch is low, ball 1. Justin Horner spends a lot of time concentrating on base runners and really slows down when runners are on base, and that's been, if you can call anything, his undoing. When one man gets on, the Rams seem to be able to build off that. They have the leadoff man to start this one. Baker was looking for the bunt, and the runner's headed for second base, and he is out from here to you. It looked like a kind of a sacrifice play where the Rams were moving Floyd to second base, and the pitch was a foot outside. Baker tried to literally dive after the pitch to save Lane Floyd, but there's nothing he could do.
And in that case, you have a double problem because Baker has to take a strike now on a pitch way out of the strike, so almost a pitch out. Once again, it looked like Berkmar read the Rams sign.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 down on the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called outside corner. That's the 5th strikeout for Horner, and the 2nd time that he has got a batter looking at strike 3.
And right now, the Rams are just not performing the fundamentals. That last play, a prime example of it. Really miscommunications, and now, of course, Doyle Baker taking the called 3rd strike. That always hurts.
And now Bryce Avery, flied out to center his first time. 1 in the dirt to him, inside, ball 1. If Avery can get on base, we'll start with the top of the order. If not, Easterday will come up to start the 6th. So Rams with a win-win situation. Even if Avery does get out, then you have the top part of your order in the bottom half of inning 6.
Starting to get late, though. The Rams need to get something going in soon.
Barrett with the side, wind and pitch, popped up behind us, foul. So make it a ball and a strike to Bryce Avery. Rams now with 2 base hits. They've been caught stealing twice and have had trouble running the bases. Who knows how the first inning or this inning might have come out had they not been caught stealing. 1-1 pitch to Avery. Swings and bounces it right off the mask of Barrett. Bounces away, so it's a ball, 2 strikes to Bryce Avery, the Ram left fielder.
Bryce way out in front on that one, barely managed to ticket foul, so he doesn't appear to have figured Mr. Horner out either.
The wind, 1-2 pitch on the way home, high with the fastball. Good job for Bryce Avery to lay off the high pitch with 2 strikes.
He has had problems with that all year, and that has been the main cause for his strikeouts, going after that high heat.
2-2 pitch on the way home. He swings and foul tips a pitch just below the knees. I thought at first that he had missed that, but he's staying at home plate, so he barely stays alive.
Yeah, I thought we might have another runner reach first base on a ball back to the backstop, but he didn't move at all, so evidently there was an immediate foul tip there.
Horner winds, brings the 2-2 home. Foul tip and just out of the mid of Michael Barrett. That would have been the end of the inning. But again, Avery, thanks to some help from the Berkmar catcher, stays alive. And you talked about reaching first. If you're Bryce Avery and a pitch gets past the catcher, you'll likely be at first base. That's about as fast a Ram as they have had in a couple of years. 2-2 pitch. Just missed. A little outside and low. Makes the count full, 3-2. And if nothing else, he's making Justin Horner waste a lot of pitches.
They got to do something. They got to try to get to this guy because he's had it too easy so far. They really haven't made him work at all.
Payoff pitch is due to Avery. Swings, bounces one, past the diving Jeff Van Buren. It's a base hit. Rams' 3rd hit, 2nd of this inning, all of them singles, and Bryce Avery just rolled one right past the Patriots' second baseman.
You could really see it from here from our angle. That ball had just enough of a curve on it. It was hooking away and away, and just did get past the second baseman, Jeff Van Buren. So good job of hitting by Bryce Avery. One of the best at-bats we've seen him have all season.
An improved hitter, and given the chance to play every day, he's responded to it. Matt Easterday is now up there, Ram leadoff man, 0 for 2. He did reach base after striking out thanks to a wild pitch. Was stranded at 3rd base, though. Rams left the bases loaded in the 4th. Now Avery at first base, it's unfortunate that there are 2 down because Avery could give you a lot of options if you were just starting an inning with him there. Easterday takes a pitch inside, ball 1.
Well, both Berkmar runs have scored with 2 outs. Let's see if the Rams can have a little 2-out rally of their own and You'd like to see them get at least one here just to get their confidence back up, just to get on the board.
And Avery, of course, has enough speed that he could go at any time. Throw to first base. He's back in standing up. But Avery has the type of speed you could put him in scoring position. It just is a matter of when he'll be going or if Joe Brassfield will try to send the runner here with 2 down. But if he does, you can bet he'll probably be safe. There he goes. Pitch is high. Throw is down to second base. Did they get him? No, it got past the second baseman. So a stolen base for Avery. And, Bill, you know, it's probably a good thing that Van Buren didn't catch that ball because Bryce Avery might have been out.
It looked like he was sliding right into the tag. He appeared to get there about the same time as the ball. And Bryce with a good jump. This catcher manages it. They're not pretty throws, but they get down there somehow.
Michael Barrett actually has done a better job than a lot of Quad A South catchers we've seen this year. Now a base hit could bring home Avery. Stretch the 2-0 to Easterday. A strike around the outside part. Make it 2-1.
You hate to see that right there. This umpire's done a pretty good job of calling the plate, and that one appeared to be one of the neighborhood calls.
Something that seems to be spreading around the umpiring profession in 96 high school baseball. Those outside strikes. Stretch the 2-1 pitch. Line but foul right side. Makes it 2-2 to the leadoff man.
And that previous pitch kind of set that pitch up. Matt had to chase after this one, which may have been outside the strike zone too, because the previous pitch was called a strike. You have to adjust as a hitter, and Matt did it, of course, there, protecting the plate.
Speaking of protecting the plate, that's what he'll have to do here with 2 strikes on him and 2 outs. Barrett gives the sign, Avery taking his lead. They're doing everything to hold him close. Easterday, the bouncer towards short. Fielded there by Jeff Lewis. His throw to first. Got Easterday by a step. That's all for the Rams here in the 5th. 2 hits. 1 man left on base, but no runs. And as we head to the 6th, the Rams still with the goose egg on the scoreboard. They trail 2-0. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
East Metro Paging is your hometown paging company, offering quality Motorola pagers and coverage options ranging from Metro to nationwide. East Metro handles their billing and repairs in-house. That means if you have a problem with your pager, you're not passed off to someone else. East Metro Paging offers their customers free of charge a loaner pager if their unit should need repairs. And if you're considering a pager, or if you're interested in moving your pager service to a dealer that specializes in communications, call East Metro Paging, 786-6796. You can also visit their store at 7115 Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of Newton General in Covington. East Metro Paging is a division of East Metro Communications Incorporated, this area's oldest communications dealer.
Tradition and excellence since 1946. That's WGFS, AM 1430, Covington.
And good evening and welcome back again to Riverside Park. Hard to believe, but we're heading to the 6th inning, and the Newton Rams have not dented the scoreboard. They had a chance in that last inning again, but once again came up empty. We are in the top of the 6th, and here to bring you the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
All right, Bill Dolan, thank you very much. The Rams, 3 games next week. They'll have the Brookwood Broncos at Brookwood on Monday, and then on Wednesday and Friday, 2 more sub-region battles. They go to Shiloh Wednesday, then back here on Friday against the Winder Barrow Bulldogs. So your next chance to catch the Rams at home will be a week from today. When you do, swing by the concession stand, pick up some baseball food. Of course, that qualifies, a lot of things qualify as baseball food, but you can have some hot dogs and some drinks and some great things down there from the concession stand, and also help out the Newton Ram baseball program a little bit by that money that you give there, which ends up going to the program. So stop by and see the folks downstairs in the concession stand. They're downstairs from us, as we're in the 2nd story of the press box / concession stand at Riverside Park. For the Berkmar Patriots, starting here in the 6th, Brian DeYoung is 0 for 2, and the first pitch to him is outside. Jason Lunsford has given up 3 hits and 2 runs in 5 innings. Only 1 of those runs is earned. Shakes off a sign from Middlebrooks, winds and brings the 1-0 home. Excuse me, swing, checked it foul, 1-1.
And Jason, of course, still appearing to have pretty good stuff. No activity in the Ram bullpen, so Coach Brassfield's going to go with him. The problem hasn't been the pitching. Had a little bit of problem with some leather and just getting the job done out in the field, and the bats are silent.
1-1, a swing and a miss at about a Not quite a shoulder-high fastball, but a little higher than the letters, so DeYoung went fishing for something out of the zone. It's 1-2. Lunsford working quickly as 1-2 on the way home. A two-hopper past Lunsford. Easterday with the play at shortstop. His throw in time for out number 1. That one just got past Lunsford. A good thing he didn't get a glove on it. They might not have had a chance to get DeYoung at first base.
Yeah, it was kind of fortunate because had it ticked his glove, it would have thrown off. Matt Easterday, looking as good as I've seen him look on the ground ball on that play, came in. Kind of a tricky hop, but came up, made a perfect throw right at the letters over to Stephen Hires. Of course, the sun has disappeared now, so a little bit easier for him to see over there at first base.
First pitch strike to Tony Martin, 0-1, and as the sun goes down, it gets a little bit colder as we head for the later innings, and maybe the bats will heat up as the weather gets colder. There's a swing and a miss. Make it 0-2. Remember that early in the year when the weather was always cold, the Ram bats seemed to be hot every game. Middlebrooks the sign, the 0-2 pitch on the way home, just a tad low, a ball and 2 strikes. Martin is 0 for 1. He walked in the second, was stranded in scoring position there, then struck out in the fourth. The wind, the 1-2 pitch, popped up high to left field, but shallow. In on it comes Bryce Avery. He's got a long run, but comes in and makes the play.
Speaking of cold, Kevin Holden, of course, Wednesday we'll be heading to Shiloh, and they're talking about near winter weather to come in next week, and it's usually, 20 degrees colder there than it is anywhere else in the world, so I guess we'll break out the parkas and the earmuffs and everything. I looked at a little bit of the game in Chicago yesterday. Outfielders wearing earmuffs and skull caps and anything to stay warm. It was brutal there.
Michael Barrett, a swing on the first pitch, lines one into right field, a base hit for Barrett. His second hit of this game. Talking about the weather conditions, whenever we go to Shiloh High School, the field there is in a valley. It's surrounded on all sides by higher terrain, and the wind tends to swirl and make things a lot colder there. And let's put it this way, if it's very cold, just listen to the broadcast on WGFS. It may not even be worth your while to head up there unless you're really, really interested in checking it out. Of course, we'll bring it to you live, the chattering teeth of Kevin Holden and Bill Dolan, because we will freeze just as much as everyone else up there.
Kind of an excuse me swing there by Barrett on this base hit that time. He just kind of stuck the bat out and just had enough to get over the head of Ryan Moon out into right field.
Matt Eldridge is 0 for 2. A fly out and a ground out. Lunsford again goes to first base and close to a balk move there, but nothing called, and Michael Barrett is back in. Barrett has reached base every time. He and Ryan Moon are the only 2 people in this entire game who have reached base each time they've come to the plate. Moon, by the way, is due up first next inning. Lunsford's first offering to Eldridge is up high, ball 1, and you know, Bill, maybe in preparation for that Shiloh game we should spend a night, say, in a refrigerator to try to adjust to the weather conditions, because it can get freezing cold there. 1-0 pitch, bounced off the end of the bat, rolled toward the Berkmar dugout, and fielded cleanly by an aspiring man in the Berkmar dugout.
Well, I'll tell you, Kevin Holden, it's not exactly warm here anymore. I've had to go back to the warm-up jacket now up here in the press box, that wind blowing straight in at us. It's a little chilly now.
1-1 pitch on the way home. Lined in his shallow center field, but Luke Allen is there, comes across and makes the play. Berkmar is retired here in the 6th. They leave a man on base after the 2-out single. Rams will try to heat the bats up when we come back. It's 2-0 Patriots as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
How do you spend your Saturday mornings? Why not join Bill Dolan and Kevin Holden from 9 to 10 for the Saturday morning Super Trivia Spectacular. That's your chance to win prizes and show your knowledge of trivia right here on WGFS AM 1430.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered with vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869. 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
Welcome back. The Rams hoping to play Superman here in the Bottom half of the sixth, Kevin Holden, Bill Dolan, bringing you play-by-play action. Bill, an exciting affair, but would be even more exciting if the Rams can come across with a few here.
And they've got the bright part of the order coming up. Ryan Moon to lead it off. Hopefully he'll be able to get something started here. He's reached base twice. The Rams just are going to have to be a little more disciplined and make this pitcher work a little bit. They've helped him out and haven't been able to perform as well as they did the other night with a few miscues of their own.
Moon is the first man up, takes a pitch for a strike that was quite a ways off the outside part, at least from up here, and Moon believed the same thing, 0-1.
And once again, you just hate to see that because it really takes the bat out of the hands, and right now the Rams need all the help they can get. They don't need things being taken away from them.
0-1 pitch, swung and bounced up the middle. It's off the pitcher, and Ryan Moon, by the time the pitcher Justin Horner recovers, will be safe at first. So he maintains reaching base every time here. Another base hit for him. So we have the leadoff man on for the third straight inning, and they're going to come out and take a look at Justin Horner. It was a pretty hard-hit ball, but after it took the one hop, it rolled up nicely, if you can say that, when it hit him. Looked like it hit him on his right leg, and they're going to take a look at him out there.
Looks like it's right above the right ankle, and he was limping pretty well, and that's the foot you got to put all your weight on to push off on. So Ryan Moon, once again, doing what he needed to do, taking it right back up the middle where it came from. I'm sure they're going to give him a few throws here to make sure it's okay. Of course, there's a great career that was ended by a ball hit right back up the middle at somebody in an all-star game. Dizzy Dean took one, broke his big toe, and continued to pitch, not realizing it was broken, altered his delivery and actually hurt his arm, and that just completely shortened his career. No telling what he could have done way back when.
Well, Horner threw all of one warm-up toss, so we won't have a Dizzy Dean here. At least it appears that way, because one pitch was enough to satisfy the Berkmar coach and their infield. So they scatter to the respective positions, and the head coach back to his dugout. Runner at first with no one out. Here's Hires, 0 for 2. 3, 4, and 5 spots, probably the Rams' best chance remaining here to try to get on the scoreboard. They trail by a pair. Stretch and the pitch. A little bit outside, ball 1. Hard to believe this is happening. Berkmar coming in 5-8, 1-3 in the sub-region. Rams 5-0 in the sub-region. Overall, 13-3. Yet, it's Berkmar that's on top right now.
Stephen Hires gave indications of chasing after that pitch, and I'm sure glad he held up.
Stretch in the pitch, lines one foul, 1-1.
I'd be real surprised to see Ryan Moon running off of first base or any type of play put on here with this part of the order coming up. The Rams just need to go ahead and try to move them along and see if they can get some hits and get these runs home that way.
Moon takes his lead. He's staying put. The pitch is a strike at the knees, 1-2.
That was a pitch that Stephen probably needed to try to do something with. He really puts himself in the hole now at 1-2.
On deck is Luke Allen, who has struck out twice. Hires swings, pops one high first base side over near the first base dugout, giving chase is Tony Martin. It's behind him. The wind might have played a trick or two with that.
And the Rams really get a break there. That ball easily catchable. And Tony Martin kind of got turned around and just ended up letting the ball land harmlessly behind him. So Stephen Hires draws new life.
So the Rams have caught several breaks in this game. They've just not been able to take advantage thus far. Hires, Allen, and Middlebrooks are 0 for 5 combined in this game. Newton Ram dugout making some chatter for their number 3 man, Hires. Swings at one, bounces it out toward the...
Luke Allen.
Well, he's due, we can say that much. A strikeout in the second, a strikeout in the fourth. One swinging and one looking, so he's taking care of both. Now he's got the strikeouts out of the way. Now he can do the damage and hopefully put at least one run on the scoreboard. Maybe if he gets a hold of one, we'll see a tie game. Left-handed batter digs in the stretch and first pitch to him, swung on and popped up left side. In comes Matt Eldridge. Out goes the shortstop Jeff Luce. It's Luce making the play, and the throw got away from the second baseman Van Buren, but Martin is there to back up. 2 down.
And once again, the Rams continue to make it easy. Luke just kind of up there, not a very good cut, hit a easy pop fly that the wind really brought that one back in. The shortstop ended up making the play, and Ryan Moon evidently thought it must have been going to drop because he was a long ways off, almost doubled off. Then the throw got away, but unable to advance as the first baseman did back it up.
So now here's Middlebrooks with 2 out. The Rams need a base hit from him. Justin Horner has fooled the Rams throughout. Middlebrooks takes a pitch. A little bit up high, ball 1.
Seems every time we turn around, there's quickly 2 outs in the Rams inning. They really haven't gotten anything going early. The one inning they had runners at first and second with nobody out, but quickly worked their way out of that inning.
This Ram team has only been shut out once this year, and the score was 2-0. There's a strike right down the heart, 1-1 to Middlebrooks. That 2-0 game was at the hands of Troup County, the first half of a doubleheader. Rams lost the second half 8-5. Ryan Moon leading away from second base, but with 2 down, Middlebrooks will have to have the big stick. There's a strike around the outside part. It's 1-2. That was a curveball from Horner that broke very early.
It appeared to have broken well past the outside part of the plate, but this umpire now has suddenly widened his strike zone. Must be getting cold himself down there.
1-2. Richie Cleary is on deck. Stretch and the pitch to Middlebrooks. That one was too far outside. Make it 2-2.
And it had to be almost into Rockdale County not to be called a strike there, but fortunately it wasn't.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Middlebrooks a fly out in the second, and in the fourth he walked to load the bases. Stretch. 2-2 pitch, swung on, lined into left field. Left fielder comes across, is going to be in for a base hit. Ryan Moon got around second, he will score, and the Rams cut the Berkmar lead in half. Make it 2-1. Chris Middlebrooks once again coming through with the big base hit.
And the wind actually really helped the Rams there. That ball appeared like the left fielder Matt Eldridge was going to make the play, but it really kind of held it up and it died out there. So whereas the wind had hurt the Rams earlier, it helped them on that particular play.
So Middlebrooks lines one in, and Matt Vaughn will run for him at first base. And here's Cleary. Cleary's 0 for 2, but he's hit 2 pop flies, and if he hits another deep one, of course, well, we won't say what will happen, but let's just say that the lead would change. Michael Barrett gives the sign. Will they see a fastball? It was, but it's on the outside corner for strike 1. A little too far outside for Cleary to do much with. Vaughn at first with 2 down. The base hit from Middlebrooks makes it a 1-run game. Get ready. I have a feeling we're going to have another one of those 7th innings. Stretch. Runner going with the pitch. Line to right field. In on it comes Brian DeYoung. It's going to be in front of him for a hit. Vaughn hits for third base. The throw is cut off, and back-to-back base hits for the Rams put runners at the corners, and Lane Floyd, who delivered in 2 huge situations at Winder a few days ago, will get the chance to do it yet again.
And once again, the Rams working the hit and run there, and Richie Cleary did what he had to do, drilled it into the outfield. I thought for a minute the right fielder, DeYoung, was going to make the play, but he backed off for some reason at the last minute and let it land in front of him. Lane Floyd, who has a base hit to his credit, his last time at bat, as he laced one up the middle. And we're going to see another runner come in here. Looks like Jarvis Johnson's going to run for Richie Cleary.
Johnson will be running at first base, and of course he represents the go-ahead run. At third base, Matt Vaughn represents the tying run. 2 pinch runners out there.
Big play having that play occur on the hit and run. With Matt Vaughn down at third base, we have seen several pitches go back to the screen from Justin Horner and get away from the catcher. So anything like that can cause the Rams to tie the score, or an error, any type of play. The Rams finally taking advantage of something and denting the scoreboard, having to do it with 2 outs. Every run in this game is scored now with 2 outs. I'd like to see about 3 more score right here.
Certainly it would be a tremendous thing. The Rams trailing 2-0. Very reminiscent of the Rams sub-region opener a few years back. They played Berkmar here for their sub-region opening game. Scouts were here to watch Jeff Key, who was a tremendous hitter at that point in time, and the scouts were watching him as he was on one of his hottest streaks. And the Rams were trailing going into the bottom of the 6th, oddly enough, and Key, with the bases loaded, drilled a double down the right field line, and the story comes out happy for all parties. The Rams won, and Jeff Key got drafted, of course, as one of the top 100 picks by the Philadelphia Phillies, and he is at Double-A, or should be at Double-A, to start the season here very shortly at Reading.
And hopefully he'll have a good season and maybe work his way up into the organization.
Tell you what, injuries will hopefully pave the way for him, and you hate to say that about anybody going down with an injury, but the injuries in the Philadelphia Philly organization have been numerous. Meanwhile, back here in 1996, it's Lane Floyd with first and third. The Rams trailing by a run. He swings and lines one back to the screen, 0-1. Good cut at the first pitch.
And the Phillies had a critical injury yesterday. Greg Jeffries will be out for several weeks now, as he suffered a thumb injury, I believe.
Jeffries joins Brett Boone, who will be out for 6 weeks after getting bone chips removed in one of his hands. Stretch from Horner, he brings the 0-1 home, swinging a shallow pop fly to center field. Vander Eist is there, though, puts it away, and that'll do it for the Ram rally. Floyd flies out to center field. The Rams leave 2, but they pick up a run on 3 base hits. So we've played 6 full innings from Riverside Park. We head to the 7th. We've got a 1-run game, folks. It's 2-1 Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Just check out these great prices for all your spring cleaning and gardening. Corona 21-inch head shears or Corona 24-inch bypass lopper, your choice, just $19.96. An Ace spring rake, $7.96. A garden weasel cultivator garden claw, $34.96. An Ace folding pruning saw, just $5.97. Or an Ace bypass lopper, just $19.97. It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware, your headquarters for spring cleaning and gardening. Mayfield Ace Hardware on the square in Covington.
If you're age 60 or better, Newton Federal has created benefits especially for you. Our now interest checking account pays current market interest on your entire checking balance, not just part of it, if you maintain a $100 balance. And we offer it to our 60-plus customers with no minimum balance requirements and no monthly maintenance fees. Talk with us today at Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured. After all, you deserve the best.
And welcome back to Riverside Park. The Rams finally down to the scoreboard, but they're still on the short end of a 2-1 score. We head to the top of the 7th inning here to try to keep it at bay. Along with Jason Lunsford on the mound is the man doing the play-by-play for you, Mr. Kevin Holden.
Well, Jason Lunsford, the left-hander that belongs on the mound, and I guess that leaves me to do the broadcast side of things here for the top half of the 7th. Jeff Van Buren, J.R. Vander Eist, and Jeff Luce. We start with the number 9 man, Van Buren. He scored the first Berkmar run in the 3rd, reaching on an error. Van Buren also reached via the base on balls in the 5th. Lefty versus righty. Lunsford has gone the entire way. His first pitch, a strike. It's 0-1 to Van Buren. Lunsford so far has allowed 4 base hits, not more than 1 in any inning. The wind, the 0-1. There's another strike. Inside corner 0-2, and he comes out sharp here to start the 7th.
Well, he needs to go ahead and get a quick 1-2-3 and let the Rams get in and get 2 runs, and we'll all go home happy.
Jason Lunsford winds, brings it home. It's low, ball 1.
Good purpose pitch there with an 0-2 count. Real close to the strike zone, and let's see if he can go ahead and ring him up here.
Middlebrook setting up near the outside part. The off-speed has popped up into shallow center field. Going out is Easterday, and on the second base side in shallow center, he makes the play. So that's the first out.
He almost took that one out of Plug's pocket there as the wind continued to blow that way. He ended up standing right next to Ryan Moon, but once he had started calling for it, he continued to stay with it, which is a good thing because a lot of times when that happens, you stop and the ball drops in between. Fortunately, they didn't let that happen.
Now here's Vander Eist. He has pulled the ball every time against Lunsford, and as I say it, he hits one off field to right field, a high pop fly. Cleary's under it and makes the play. Now with 2 down, it's interesting to note that J.R. Vander Eist, Jeff Luce, and Dane Weigel have been retired a combined total of 7 times by Jason Lunsford. Every one of them have been fly ball outs. Every time they've reached base, of course, it's been a single and once a fielder's choice, but the 7 outs have all been fly ball outs.
And kind of just a high pop-up type. Nothing really hit or drilled.
There's a swing and a number off the end of the bat. In comes Ryan Moon. Going to be a tough play. Gloves flips to his first baseman, and it's in time. Well, if you're going to have a tough defensive play, the man to have it is Ryan Moon, and he did the job perfectly, retiring the Berkmar Patriots here in the 7th. Well, the Rams have to pick up at least 1 run if we're to extend this past the bottom of the 7th. Hopefully we can do that in 60 seconds. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
The Bank of Covington offers full-service banking and convenient locations, and you can find what you want in a checking account, savings plan, simple interest loan, and 24-hour automatic banking that gives you access to over 8,000 ATMs throughout the Southeast and the USA. Just what you would expect from a leading financial institution. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC. an equal opportunity lender.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
And here we go. Are you ready? Let's hope so. Bottom of the 7th inning. Rams need 1 to tie, 2 to win. They trail 2-1. Here with the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Bottom half of the 7th, and if the Rams don't come across with a run, they will have their first sub-region loss, and it will be a shocker against the Berkmar Patriots, who have won only one sub-region game all year coming in. Doyle Baker is 0 for 2. He'll start it off. Baker a ground out and a strikeout and 2 at-bats. After Baker, it's Bryce Avery and then Matt Easterday.
Bryce Avery, of course, with a hit his last at-bat. Matt Easterday struggling today. The off-speed junk giving some of the Ram hitters fits.
Baker takes a pitch, a fastball outside for ball 1. The Rams have 6 hits in the last 3 innings, and I think that'll help them. They've started to figure out Justin Horner as they've gone along. Pitch is a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Doyle Baker.
Doyle's been taking a lot of good pitches lately, and I think that's hurting him at the plate. He was rung up on a really good-looking pitch his last at-bat.
Swings foul, tips 1, making it 1-2. Another fastball, a little bit below the knees.
Takes the good pitch for the strike and then swings the one out of the strike zone. Normally that's what happens when people end up in slumps. They get out of the right mode of swinging at strikes.
1-2 pitch, swung on it, bounced on 1 hop, taken by Horner. He'll flip to first, and that's the first out. Berkmar 2 outs away from pulling out the upset of the Rams. Rams, of course, play 12 sub-region games in all. Every team in the sub-region plays the Rams twice, once at home and once away. And the Rams, even if they don't pick up the win here, will be at 5-1 and still in first place in A Quad A South, having beaten everyone else except Berkmar, who would be 2-3 if they pick up the win here. The only bad thing about it is the Rams go on the road for 4 of their next 6 sub-region games. Avery takes a cut at a high pitch and comes up short.
And there's the Bryce Avery we saw earlier in the season, swinging at that high pitch for the strike and getting behind in the count now.
Avery 1 for 2. Singled in the 5th. Wine. And the pitch to him. It is an off-speed pitch, high and outside. Ball 1.
The Rams need a base runner, so Bryce, take the walk if he'll give it to you. Base hit, any way to get on with your speed.
Merritt setting up around the outside part. 1-1 pitch, low and outside. So we run it to 2-1 on Avery. Avery getting the start the last couple of times out. Drove in a few runs against Winder. Drove a ball deep to the left field track against Parkview. 2-1, he swings and fouls one back, evening the count at 2-2. If the Rams cannot come back, they'll fall to 13-4. And for the second straight year after an uplifting win against Parkview, they will have faltered against the Berkmar Patriots. The wide 2-2 pitch to Avery lays off the high one. And the count runs full 3-2, so Avery learning some more patience with that pitch.
This is, I believe, the key batter for the Rams here. Bryce needs to get on base for them if they're going to do it. And
swings and pops it up, shallow center field. Jeff Van Buren being called off by his shortstop, Jeff Luce. That's the second out. So with 2 down, the last hope for the Rams, Matt Easterday. Rams have not lost since the doubleheader at Troup County. They've been undefeated since, but in jeopardy, serious jeopardy here.
The Berkmar Patriots have gotten the job done. They've performed on the plays. The Rams, a couple of miscues that have really hurt them in this game.
Easterday is hitless, and that doesn't bode well when he is the last hope for Newton. Did reach after a strikeout thanks to a wild pitch. Lines one foul on the first base side, so he's behind here early 0-1. Justin Horner looking for the complete game, giving up only the 1 run, and so far on only 6 hits, no extra base hits.
And you can bet when the Rams head back to Berkmar who they'll see on the mound against him.
0-1 pitch on the way. It is outside and low, ball 1. And with their first loss in the sub-region, if it holds up this way, would not be surprised if the Rams see a lot more of the off-speed pitches the second time around in the sub-region. 1-1 pitch to Easterday, about a 50-footer, well in front of home plate at bounce, so make it 2-1. And Easterday, a leadoff man, patient enough to take the walk. And remember, on deck is Ryan Moon, who has reached base every time he's come to the plate so far in this game. Two and one to Easterday. Horner with the wind, the 2-1 pitch. Easterday pops it up, and it'll be out of play and off a light fixture, foul down the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the 7th. Rams have to have a base runner and be able to push him across, and they're down to their final strike. Remember, they were down to their final strike against the Winder Barrow Bulldogs as well.
Do you have another miracle in you, Kevin Holden?
Of course, when the Rams were at Winder and down to their final strike, I was away from the microphone and rooting for Richie Cleary, and he got the base hit. And I can root for Easterday, but I'm at the microphone this time, so different circumstances. He calls time as he believes Horner taking too much time out there.
This is going to be a tough loss if the Rams can't rally here, especially after the emotional win of the other night.
2-2 is low, ball 3. And you know that Easterday's in a tough position right now when one more strike gives you a loss, and you have to take pitches. Of course, that one well low.
Good job of watching by Matt. He knows the Rams need the runner.
Payoff pitch. Due to the shortstop, swings, bounces it up the third baseline. Coming across is Jason Elkins. His throw is in time. The Berkmar Patriots have pulled off the upset of the Newton Rams. Your final is 2-1. The Rams lose for the first time in 8 Quad A South action. They go to 5-1, and overall 13 wins and 4 losses on the 1996 season. And when we come back, we'll wrap things up here from Riverside Park and Newton High School as the Rams go down by a run. Ram baseball on WGFS, AM 1430.
East Metro Paging is your hometown paging company, offering quality Motorola pagers and coverage options ranging from Metro to nationwide. East Metro handles their billing and repairs in-house. That means if you have a problem with your pager, you're not passed off to someone else. East Metro Paging offers their customers free of charge a loaner pager if their unit should need repairs. And if you're considering a pager, or if you're interested in moving your pager service to a dealer that specializes in communications, call East Metro Paging, 786-6796. You can also visit their store at 7115 Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of Newton General in Covington. East Metro Paging is a division of East Metro Communications Incorporated, this area's oldest communications dealer.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered with vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869, 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
At Coast to Coast Home and Auto, we believe when you buy a new lawnmower, it should come with no strings attached. That's why Coast to Coast Home and Auto is proud to offer a complete line of Toro Super Recycler mowers. The exclusive Toro 5-year total coverage warranty guarantees that if anything goes wrong with a Toro within 5 years of normal use, Toro will fix it free. No strings attached. Even failure due to normal wear and tear is included. No other manufacturer makes that claim. Coast to Coast Home and Auto also wants you to know that Toro Super Recycler mowers equipped with Toro GTS engines are guaranteed to start on the first or second pull for 5 years, or Toro will fix them free. No strings attached. If you really think about it, it only makes sense. The best mowers should have the best warranty. So come see us at Coast to Coast Home and Auto for warranty details. We have a great selection of new Toro Super Recycler mowers, each with a Toro total coverage warranty and no strings attached.
And welcome back to Riverside Park, and unfortunately the news not good for the Newton Rams. In a real shocker, almost the biggest shocker as the 9-0 Parkview victory of Wednesday night, the Rams drop a 2-1 heartbreaking decision to the Berkmar Patriots. Here with the totals and highlights, Kevin Holden.
All right, Bill Dolan. Well, the Berkmar Patriots come out on top of the Rams, moving their record to 6-8 and 2-3 in the sub-region. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. That was a key. They left 6 men on base. If we could give a player of the game to someone off the Patriots, it would be Justin Horner, who pitched the complete game, giving up 1 earned run on 6 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The Rams have a run on 6 hits in this one, 2 errors. They left 6 men on base. For Lunsford, he is our WGFS player of the game. Jason Lunsford, 7 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Bill, the little things in this game were the key to Berkmar coming up on the Rams. Little things that we had mentioned before, mistakes on the bases and defensively.
That's true. Both runs that Berkmar scored, and both with 2 outs, could have been avoided. The one, of course, an unearned run, scored when a man reached base on an error, and then it was a little pop fly that Ryan Moon was unable to catch that dropped in. It landed between he and Stephen Hires. Maybe a ball Stephen should have called Ryan off of and made the play. Then the second run that the Patriots scored, a stolen base played a key role in there. And then they were hit and running, and on a ball hit just to the left of Doyle Baker, he had started to break to his right to cover third base, maybe breaking just a hair too soon. The ball dribbled past him into left field, and the second one turned out to be the deciding run scored. And for Jason Lunsford, though, he is our player of the game and will also receive, courtesy of Domino's Pizza, a medium pizza. So congratulations, Jason. Tough way to get a loss and pitch as well as he did, but he'll have a pizza to eat at least.
He'll enjoy the pizza nonetheless, and he can enjoy a fine pitching performance, because you can definitely say that it was not the fault of Jason Lunsford that the Rams went down here. He pitched a fine game, kept the Rams in it. Remember, he held the Berkmar Patriots to a pair of runs, a team that scored 8 against the Winder Barrow Bulldogs.
And just a tough loss. It's really tough to take. You look at some critical situations, some key at-bats in the game by certain players on the Rams team as they failed to come through, and just not quite coming up with the performance you expect to see them play. The gloves weren't there today. The Rams just weren't as sharp as they were Wednesday night against Parkview, and it showed, and they ended up dropping a tough decision. Maybe this will wake them up again. Every once in a while they need kind of a wake-up call. I was hoping just losing and maybe they'd pull it out might be the wake-up call, but this one really kind of hurts.
Well, what they will remember from this, Bill, if nothing else, is this much. They understand that they can't go in lightly against anybody, even the lower, well, what would be considered the lower end of this sub-region. If you're dealing with an 8 Quad A South team that's 5-8 overall, usually that's not a great record, because 8 Quad A South teams, even the ones that are sub 500 in the sub-region, are 500 or over 500 overall. That's usually the case. The Rams have learned from this game, I have a feeling, that they cannot go in lightly, even against Berkmar or Winder, which they learned that last Wednesday, and also even Rockdale, who snuck up and beat this Berkmar Patriot team, who has now beaten the Rams. So you've got to know that the Rams will have to play with some intensity for these next 6 games. Sending it to the region tournament, the Rams still in good position to make the tournament, but will have to step it up an extra notch to avoid more losses like this.
That's absolutely true, Kevin, and I'm going to have to leave Monday night with you. I won't be able to make it due to a prior commitment, but I'll be there freezing with you at Shiloh, and then next weekend I have a trip planned, actually a little vacation, so I won't be joining you again. So I'm going to put a lot of heavy load on you there to come through with some wins for me while I'm gone, Kevin.
Well, if one left-hander can do it, hopefully another one can, and so we'll be bringing you Ram broadcast next week. Now, the Monday game against the Brookwood Broncos, we will be giving you inning reports because the Braves play at 4:05 against the Los Angeles Dodgers from Chavez Ravine. What we'll be doing under those circumstances is, in between innings of the Atlanta Braves game, you'll be hearing updates of the Newton Rams game. The Rams will be at Brookwood taking on the Broncos. Then, of course, Wednesday and Friday, both live broadcasts. Wednesday, we'll both be there at Shiloh. Friday, the Winder Barrow Bulldogs come here, and you won't get a chance to see Winder at all this year, Bill. Missed him the first time.
No, I guess I'll miss him this time also. And then Saturday, I believe y'all have a game too, a game against St. Joseph's, isn't it?
Mount St. Joseph coming to Riverside Park here. It was originally a game scheduled for Milton High School, where Charlie Beverly is now, the former Newton Ram head coach of several years back, and he's at Milton High School now, and that was originally planned there, but the scheduling has been rearranged, and Mount St. Joseph will be at Riverside Park, and that game is, if I'm not mistaken, a noon start. We'll double check that, but that'll be a noon start Saturday.
I believe that is a noon start, and I'll have to miss that one too, so.
You're saving your appearances for Clark Central High School in the region tournament, I'm sure.
Well, hopefully the Rams will learn from this and be strong as they head towards the region tournament. They showed Wednesday they can play with anybody, and then tonight they showed they can lose to anybody.
It's the case in baseball. It's a lot different from football or even in basketball. On a given night, almost anyone can beat almost anyone, especially in 8 Quad A South. That's the moral for this evening from Riverside Park at Newton High School. There are 7 regular season meetings left for the Newton Rams. 7 games left in the regular season. The next one, Monday at Brookwood High School. That's a 5 o'clock start. The Braves are a 4:05 start. Listen in for inning reports. Catch the Rams and the Braves, a double dip of baseball action Monday on WGFS. And for our executive producer, Todd Q. Chapman, for Bill Dolan and a cast of thousands at Riverside Park, Kevin Holden reporting. The Rams go down for the first time in sub-region play 2-1. Good night, everyone.